Please hold.
There was a ship that brought us to a new world, across the Delaware, to the beaches of Normandy.
Hi, sorry about that. How can I help you?
Is David Wolf still there?
He is, but he's not sitting at the desk right now. Can I take a message, or can I help you with something?
I was curious as to how the story came about, and I tried to call earlier, but he was busy, so I waited a few hours, so I hope he'll at least give me...
Okay, what is it in regards to?
Councilwoman threatens resident.
Okay, what exactly is your question?
How was the story brought to your attention?
Okay, do you have some involvement in the story, or?
I'm a citizen of the city, and I know what happened, and so I just find the way that you all presented the story in what's the word, kind of slanted, actually, and incomplete, and incorrect even. So it seems pretty obvious that the mayor now is very much trying to get rid of the city manager. I think he's going after the most vulnerable people on the council. That councilwoman, has some controversial thing with her husband that, it's unfair to drag her down. But this woman, Lee Esther, at least a dozen times, she evokes the name of her husband and tries to embarrass her and just pushes her and pushes her. And this woman, we speak for 5 minutes there, and she spoke for 16 minutes. The mayor allows her, and it's like they put on this little show. You'll hear, if you were to listen to the whole thing, which I did for the first time today because I didn't even really know that it happened. I kind of heard about it, but then I took the time to listen today. You have Councilwoman asking her to be removed because she called her the crack queen of Peekskill. And I don't know exactly what that means, but it's a pretty loaded personal attack. And,
right.
And Councilwoman Drew Claxton says to the mayor, I thought we weren't going to allow personal attacks, like what's going on here. And the mayor just really does stand up and showboat. And the chief of police, which I saw on your website, the video doesn't work very well, comes up and he just stands there.
Right. Were you at this meeting?
I think I left early.
Okay, what's your number and contact info?
Well, nobody takes me seriously, so I don't really need to get involved. I was really curious because David Wolf started to tell me that a couple of people called, and I was like, well, is it possible? If I guess, could you tell me? Especially if it's the mayor, and I do believe that the mayor called.
Okay.
And that's really just his way of, he got rid of the council that he didn't like. He's trying to get rid of the city manager based on some, technicality. The man worked for the city planning for 15 years.
Right.
And because he doesn't have, some, 3-year thing. But they give waivers all the time for anything, which, you use your discretion. But the mayor is a real estate guy, and he wants to turn Peekskill into Yonkers or, White Plains. He wants to just see high-rises everywhere, and that's his shtick, and that's his vision. But the other people are more, protective or whatever. And I mean, I don't really side with anybody. I'm just always trying to understand why people get away with outright lies. Because I heard the words out of Mackenzie's mouth in the video, which is on the city website, which was something about. Actually, it is hard to hear what she said, but she said, well, something about you'll be handled, which could be interpreted in a million ways, and we all know. Well, okay, so you won't tell me who brought.
No, it's a tip that we got for a story. There's no direct contact or information we can give you as to who told us what.
Because it's just really unfair what they're doing to her, because he's just trying to, I don't know, change the council so that he can have, everyone vote for the things that he wants to vote for. And
okay, we'll take a look into that.
Well, that's not why I called. But real quick.
Okay.
The mayor last fall, when I asked him why he was investigated by the FBI and supposedly charged with electioneering and then blah, 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 And I didn't even actually get to say that much because it was in Monroe in 1994, and all I got to say was Monroe 1994, and the council shut me down. And Catalina had just been elected, so he wasn't up there yet. But as I walked by him, I said, "I'm sorry that seemed more aggressive than I meant for it to." He told me he'd have me arrested. And the way this went down was when I walked by him, he was so like he wanted to like strangle me, that I went.
Okay, we'll take into account.
But let me just tell you, I went back with my camera going and
Okay.
recorded him saying, "I will have you arrested." When I said, "I'm sorry," it came out quite that way. I just thought you could explain to everyone what happened. And his response was to say, "I will have you arrested." Now, I'm not a council person. I'm not anybody. But your job should be to protect people like me who the mayor's going to threaten to arrest someone for apologizing because they want to know, because he's going to turn into this ogre. So you guys, you take tips from Daryl Davis and his council committee for whatever, and they lie left and right. And on anyone who I love's life, I can prove to you, like just by showing side-by-side recordings, timings of things, dates, and I can say, this is what he said then, and this is what he claims he said now. He did lie to you once about, I did speak at the council meeting, asked me why, over a puppy that was stolen. The cops threatened to arrest me. I recorded him. He didn't know it, denied it, but I could prove it. Wait, I know this is long-winded, but let me just say that I was asking if a city council can't fix a puppy stolen problem, which was part of my sarcastic point, tongue-in-cheek, then what are we going to fix? Because I spoke for 6 minutes, but Daryl Davis and all those people that claim to be like for a peace deal, they're not activists. They're like CIA operatives or something. They stood at your cameras and they said, white people get up there and they speak for 9 minutes. And I was the white person he was talking about, and it's not true. You can look at the timing. They make stuff up, and I've seen it a million times.
Okay,
So the
we'll
idea
definitely look into it, okay?
takes these people seriously is a big fat job. And it's a shame you don't do, like real reporting.
All right, we'll take a look into it. Thanks for the call.
Right.
End of messages.